decades, the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk has been one of the crown jewels of the lands of Fang.
Huh, that's funny. I never heard of it when I was studying for my Bitter Warlock Sidekick certification.
Public relations are tough for independent dungeons.
Oh, aren't you affiliated with the Dungeons Fund?
With those unscrupulous parasites? Never. But we do have the most insidious traps, the most cunning guards, the most dreadful monsters, and the most remarkable treasures.
How delightful! May I look around?
No, we've been renovating. The paint's still wet.
Ah, too bad.
Despite our reputation being well established, I've decided that this dungeon needs to take things to the next level.
Yes, the ad made that very clear.
And I need more time for my magical research.
Certainly. So, about my compensation,
Well, let's not quibble over trifles. I'm aligned with industry norms. Not to mention, there's the gratification of joining a renowned wizard.
Yes, of course. May I meet the other members of the team?
Well, actually, not today. They're attending a seminar for process improvement. You know what I mean.
Process?
The clock is ticking, and you're not the only applicant. What's your decision? This is a once-in-a-lifetime offer.
I'm interested. Not like I have a choice anyway. No one's hiring half-goblins. There's too much discrimination in this sector. All right, I'm in.
Perfect. You made the right choice. And now?
Yes?
Get to work, you wretch! I don't pay people to stand around.
Yes, Master. All right, let's see. Where is the dungeon staff? What state are the premises in? I'll have a look around the property. I wonder if signing this contract was such a good idea.
Keep asking and the whip will answer.
I'm going crazy talking to myself.
Yes?
Master, if I may, isn't it a bit strange for an evil dungeon to have its tavern open to the public?
Ah, yes, well, it's a convenient way to make some money. But I'm not very good at managing it.
I see. Well, it could prove to be useful. We'll never be able to retain our staff with such rundown premises, Master.
I have no money to spend on a luxury lounge for my lazy servants.
Oh, but it's a matter of standards. Take the Temple of Wismo, for example. They have 18 toilets just for the servants.
What? Those frauds. Well, do what you must, but don't go overboard. We're not running a hotel.
Let's see. We won't get anywhere without bathrooms, for starters. Chamber pots and manure heaps are so last century. Perfect! now have a decent bathroom. Now, dormitories with beds.
I don't pay you to nap.
Speaking of payment...
Later. Super busy, magical research and all that.
I think I'll have to put a little slush fund aside. Master, the living quarters improvements are complete.
Not bad, but very expensive. We'll have to find some more money. If I'd wanted to go bankrupt, I'd have hired an interior designer.
I hear you, but given the state of the dungeon, I'm not sure how we could defeat a party of adventurers, even beginners.
If we're not up to snuff, it'll be your fault, entirely.
But I just got here and, well, I do serve an evil wizard, not a charity.
Yes?
We have to develop this tavern to bring in some income.
The old tavern keeper is gone. Yet another ungrateful coward. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I've got better things to do. I must focus on my magical research and developing my management skills.
I can handle it. So let's see. We need tables for customers, equipment for serving food and drinks.
In the meantime, I shall subscribe to a few periodical publications about evil dungeon management. We need to get this up to date.
I wonder if he knows what he is doing.
Don't you overspend. We want to extort gold from the poor, not waste our money on furniture for drunkards.
By the troll's limp! Minions use a tavern as their canteen. We should take that into account. There. Table and sideboard. This should be enough to lure in a few dupes.
I hired an evil dungeon steward, not a lunch lady.
Indeed, Master. But we need some revenue. Look, all these customers should earn us some gold.
Orlov for debrief, Master. Hey, what's with this dull-looking goblin?
Half-goblin? Who is this brute?
He is the dungeon sword master and guard commander. So, are you back from the retaliatory raid?
Affirmative. We made it to target location, the so-called Temple of Wismal. Enemy ambush fighting. 100% loss rate on our side. Debrief over.
What? You turkeys!
I was injured 6 times myself. We were expected. I am the guard commander, not a marauder. This requires specific operational preparation.
Clearly. This doesn't speak highly about your abilities.
Who asked you, you withered piece of lettuce?
Silence, you two! Revax is our new steward. As for you, Orloff, maybe I should get a new swordmaster.
Certainly, sir. But I'll complain to the Guild of Mercenaries and Dungeon Guards. This wasn't in my job description.
Ugh. Cursed be the bowels of the great Talifern! I'm so sick of these union demands! Beat it, both of you! I'm going back to my research.
I think we'd better try to collaborate. In our mutual interest, Sword Master.
Yeah, affirmative. For now, you little... yes, steward.
This failed raid explains why this dungeon is so badly guarded. Anyone can just waltz in. If we want to get rid of adventurers, we should deal with slackers first.
Affirmative. The downsizing caused by the incursion attempt on the Temple of Wismal is weighing on staff rotation. We must recruit new elite guards.
Guards are expensive. I read in Dungeons and Despots that support roles should be outsourced as part of a atomized management of the company's processes.
Don't you mean optimized, Master?
Silence! You know nothing of modern dungeon management vocabulary. As for you, improve the guard, but with no superfluous expenses.
We could hire a few interns. They shouldn't cost us much. We'd just have to think about feeding them from time to time.
Affirmative. That's it for now. I'll bring them up to speed. Trust me on that. Attention! At ease. The first interns have arrived. Soldiers, attention! Line up in pairs in the front rank. I only want to see one head.
I'm curious to see how he goes about training them.
Ideally, we should find a pile of dirt and make them dig a hole to bury him.
But that's absurd!
Negative. This is training through blind obedience. To think is to disobey. Come on the double, rookies. Hop, two, hop, two, hop, two.
Right! Aim for the knees and the eyes. Be sly and cruel. Honor and chivalry are for losers.
Orloff for debrief. The intruders were evicted from the perimeter. Clean sweep.
Ah, finally. This is a dungeon, not a squat for teenage pipe-smoking dropouts. Revax! Why are my minions so agitated? I can't focus in such a ruckus.
One of the servants is on strike, Master. He's protesting against his working conditions.
I could send the guards to slaughter this slacker. Civilians are so entitled.
I'm not sure that's the best approach for retaining competent staff, Master. We must listen to his demands and fulfill them, if they're legitimate.
I don't care about the specifics. I just need this rocket silenced. Deal with it, or you'll get the whip! Incidentally, there's an article in Dungeons and Despots about the psychological torture of middle management minions.
Master?
Out with the striker! It'll make an example of him. Still, I should try to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's done, Master. Everything is back to normal. The strike is over.
About time. Let's move on. I've just been informed that the Temple of Wismal has increased its reputation, while we've been sitting on our haunches whistling nursery rhymes.
We should limit the risk of strikes. The dungeon won't be able to repel adventurers with disgruntled minions.
Affirmative. To smash those little snoopers, you need motivated, and therefore well-fed, guards.
These matters are unworthy of a high-level wizard. They're better suited for interns.
Of course, Master. I'll see what I can come up with. But we'll need a cook.
As long as they're not too expensive and can cook sumptuous meals. Bear and beer stew, for example.
It's also necessary to adapt the food to each species. If we serve elfish fare to goblins, they'll start eating the elves too.
Bashing heads is only solution.